Mina could never have owned this restaurant during the Taliban rule 20 years ago. She designed Simple Cafe in the heart of Kabul to give women a safe space to mingle with no restrictions. But the Taliban have taken over Afghanistan once again, despite US promises to change women's lives for good. Now, many feel betrayed and worry they are no more protected today than they were 20 years ago. We followed Mina for a day before the Taliban gained control of Kabul. This has been Mina's daily routine for 3.5 years. She drives through the busy streets of Kabul and then walks the rest of the way, all alone and without a head covering. That would be normal in most countries, but in Afghanistan, the rules for women haven't always been the same.
افغانستان جایگاه به آسانی به دست نیاوردن پس من فکر میکنم این قشر جوان به این آسانی پس زده نمیشن که
Many of her customers are young women who feel the same way.
و این که این کافه از یک زن هست فکر میکنم احساس بهتری دارن و میخواین برای تشویق من که شده اینجا زیاد میان.
Half of Mina's employees are also female. She knows how hard it is for them to find work in Afghanistan, where only 22% of women have jobs, one of the lowest rates in the world. Still, that's pretty high compared to 1996 when the Taliban took control. Women were forced to wear burqas and couldn't leave the house without a male chaperone. Even Mina's family didn't allow her to go to college.
من همزمان هم درس می‌خواندم هم کار می‌کردم به خاطر اینکه از نظر اقتصادی بتونم مستقل شوم و خانواده ما باورمند شوند. فکر میکنم با توجه به محدودیت‌هایی که در جامعه افغانستان برای زنها هست اونا باید خیلی زیاد تلاش کنن چون که از طرف خانواده حمایت نمیشن. اکثر دخترها و پدر مادرها خیلی کم سر دخترها سرمایه گذاری میکنن.
Things started changing after the US toppled the Taliban in 2001 and poured over $780 million to advance women's rights in the country. Women joined the Afghan army, could go to yoga classes, and own businesses like Simple Cafe. US officials bragged about the progress and even used it to justify the longest-running war in US history.
Because of our recent military gains, in much of Afghanistan, women are no longer imprisoned in their homes. They can listen to music and teach their daughters without fear of punishment. The fight against terrorism is also a fight for the rights and dignity of women.
But that fight didn't go far enough, says Mina.
زنهای زیادی در سایر ولایت افغانستان هستن که حقوق ندارن.
Women there are still forced to cover up and can only leave home for family visits. More women and children were killed and wounded in Afghanistan in the first half of 2021 than in the first 6 months of any year since 2009. On June 25th, Mina was attacked and beaten on the street by a group of unknown men. She took this photo right after. She suspects it's because she's running this business. But there's another reason why Mina always has a target on her back. She belongs to an ethnic minority group known as the Hazara. They are Shia Muslim in a Sunni majority country, making them a prime target of the Taliban and other extremist groups. Since 2015, attacks across Afghanistan have killed at least 1,200 Hazaras and injured over 2,000. In fact, in May, a school in the Hazara neighborhood where Mina lives was bombed. At least 80 people were killed, mostly young girls. The Taliban denied involvement.
این تعداد جمعیت یا این تعداد قشر جوان رو بگیم شما دیگه حق ندارین زندگی کنین، حق ندارین درس بخونین، حق ندارین کار کنیم. حتما اونا ایستاد میشن و برای حقشون مبارزه میکنن. همینطور که ما مبارزه کردیم برای حقمون تا امروز به جایگاهی که هستیم رسیدیم.
This time around, some Taliban leaders have officially said women will have rights, but within the framework of Islamic Sharia law. But reports are emerging from newly captured areas that women are already being forced to marry Taliban fighters and are being publicly flogged for violating their rules. While the Biden administration has promised to provide civilian and humanitarian assistance in the future,
including speaking out for the rights of women and girls,
many still feel abandoned by the US government. Since the Taliban took over, Mina has been in hiding, and Simple Cafe is now closed. She plans to flee the country as she fears that dark times are ahead for Afghan women.
حقوقی که برای از سالها مبارزه کردن و این حقوق برای خود تا جایی به دست آوردن، واقعا نگران هستن که امروز چطور میشه.